A poor dervish was walking joyfully in the rain, lost in love and spiritual ecstasy. While walking, he saw a sweet seller. The halwai was boiling hot milk in one pan, and according to the rainy weather, frying hot jalebis in another pan. The dervish stopped there for a few moments. Maybe he felt hungry, or maybe it was the effect of the cold weather. He looked carefully at the stove. He wanted to eat something, but he had no pocket, and therefore no money. After warming his hands at the fire for some time, he was about to leave, when the kind-hearted sweet seller could not stop himself, and offered the dervish a bowl of hot milk and some jalebis. The dervish ate the hot jalebis with the hot milk, then raised his hands toward the sky, prayed for the sweet seller, and moved on. Now the dervish's stomach was full. Free from worldly worries, he again started walking with fresh energy, splashing muddy rainwater as he went, unaware that a newly married young couple was walking behind him, trying to save themselves from the rain. Suddenly, the dervish kicked the muddy water with force, and the splashes flew straight onto the young woman's clothes, making her expensive dress dirty and covered with mud. This was unbearable for the young man with her, so he rolled up his sleeves, rushed forward, grabbed the dervish by the collar, and shouted, "Are you blind? Can't you see? Because of you, my beloved's clothes are wet and dirty with mud." The dervish stood silently, shocked, and his silence made the young man even angrier. The woman tried to free the dervish from the young man's hands, but seeing the fire of hatred in his eyes, she stepped back helplessly. People passing by watched the scene without caring, but no one dared to stop the young man, and finally, drunk with power and anger, he slapped the dervish hard on the face. The old dervish could not bear the blow and fell into the mud, and seeing him fall, the young man smiled and walked away. The old dervish looked toward the sky and said, "Oh my lord, sometimes you give me hot milk with jalebis, and sometimes a hot slap. Whatever pleases you, that pleases me too." And saying this, he continued on his way. On the other side, the young couple, full of youth and pride, walked toward their destination, and after some distance, stopped in front of a house. The young man took out the keys from his pocket and, joking with his beloved, started climbing the stairs to the upper floor. Because of the rain, the stairs were slippery, and suddenly his foot slipped and he fell down the stairs. The woman screamed loudly, attracting people toward him, and many rushed to help, but it was too late. As his head was badly injured and due to heavy bleeding, the strong young man died. Some people noticed the dervish coming from a distance and started whispering among themselves, saying that the dervish must have cursed the young man after being slapped, otherwise how could such a strong man die just by falling from the stairs? Hearing this, some young men surrounded the dervish, and one of them said, "How can you be a man of God if you cursed a young man just because of one slap? A true man of God never loses patience over small pain." The dervish replied, "By God, I never cursed that young man." Someone from the crowd shouted, "If you did not curse him, then how did such a strong young man die by falling from the stairs?" The dervish asked an unusual question. "Is there anyone here who witnessed the whole incident?" A young man stepped forward and said, "Yes, I saw everything." The dervish asked him, "When the mud splashed from my feet, did it dirty this young man's clothes?" The young man replied, "No, his clothes were fine, but the woman's clothes were ruined." The dervish then held the young man's arms and asked, "Then why did he slap me?" The young man answered, "Because that woman was his beloved, and he could not tolerate her clothes getting dirty. So for his beloved he hit you." Hearing this, the dervish raised a joyful cry and walked away saying, "By God, I never cursed him. But there is someone who loves me, and he is so powerful that even the greatest king of this world trembles before his power."